Hello to you, Ryan. So I see you're quite young. Would you be comfortable revealing your age?
Yeah, so I'm 19 and
Hmm.
I'm from USA, obviously. So
Do you go to high school still, or university, or none of the above?
right now I'm in community college. I go to Mass Bay, so that's what I'm doing right now.
And how did you get involved with the real world?
So I first started, I think it was from a TikTok of Andrew Tate. He was like announcing it, and I thought it sounded interesting. I looked through it, and at first I thought it was a scam, but then like it doesn't make sense if it's a scam because there's all these people that are staying in there. So I joined, and that's basically how I got started.
Okay. And what campus did you choose to go into, and why?
At first, I started with stocks because I had already had stocks originally, and I was kind of like looking into stocks. But then after that, I didn't do too well in there, so I switched to e-commerce, and from there, everything's just kind of grown. It's been great doing e-commerce.
Hmm. And when you say it didn't do too well, what would you say was the reason for that in the South campus?
Well, I wasn't losing money, but like I wasn't making as much money as I thought I would. But
Hmm.
switched to e-commerce. It was great.
What would you attribute that to, though?
Definitely just sticking with it because like stocks, I kind of like dropped it and like would start again and then dropped it and start again. But e-commerce, I just stuck with it the whole way, even when it got
Mhm.
hard. And then that's when like real growth started.
Right. Okay, so instead of stocks, you chose e-commerce. Why e-commerce? And then what made you stick through e-commerce until you made your earnings?
Yeah. So long time ago, this is kind of a long story, but a long time ago, I used to have an Instagram page where I would like promote small businesses. And I found that a lot of them were actually drop shipping businesses and that I was promoting them. So I was like asking and reaching out to them about what they were doing. And I was learning about them. And I was like, that sounds really interesting. So I tried to start one. Didn't go so well. But then once I joined the real world, I figured I'd give it another shot. And then that's kind of how I got started.
Yeah, and when did you begin, and how much has it scaled to?
So I joined the real world about 6 months ago, I believe. But I started e-commerce maybe 4 months ago, 3, 4 months ago. And in the last 2 months, it's really taken off. I've made about 25,000 revenue, about 7 grand in profit in the last 2 months. So that's been pretty good.
Congratulations, as a 19-year-old in college.
Thank you.
So, I mean, what that covers, you don't need to go part-time work, finding a job like randomly in Starbucks or McDonald's or whatever. You can just do e-commerce and then scale that
Yeah.
potentially infinitely, right?
Yeah. I'm looking to scale that probably this week, doing doubling ads. But
Mhm. What are the plans for scaling?
um, right now, I'm trying to just scale as much as I can. And then after that, maybe start like a personal brand, do like third party logistics, trying to get somebody from the States to actually ship out. Because right now, 15-day shipping time is not going great with customer service, but I'm just trying to start like a personal brand, maybe like scale it from there, see where it goes.
Interesting. Okay. So, in terms of the real world, how different has the material been within the e-commerce campus compared to what's out there on the internet?
So like other courses on the internet, I guess they're good, but like there's no like community behind it. Like with the real world, you have the course, which is amazing, and you have so much knowledge in there, but then you also have the community. So with like a course on the internet, you can't really ask like the person who made the course a question. While as in the real world, you can get like real time feedback about like what's working, real strategies that are working right now, what other people are doing. Whereas like a course, it's just kind of they make it and then they send it out and a bunch of people buy it. But that's I think the main difference that really like sets it apart.
Okay. So, community aspect, did the Winch channel have any kind of impact on you?
Definitely, yeah. So when I was first starting out, I was a little hesitant about whether this would work or not. But then I was looking in the Winch channel and I was like, all these people can do it. I can definitely do it. It's not that hard. And then once you get through it, you realize that really wasn't that hard. It's a lot easier to make money than most people think.
All right. What would you say was the biggest challenge you faced when first starting out with e-commerce?
Um, Definitely. discipline over motivation, because there have been many days when I didn't want to work, but you just gotta push through, and you just gotta open your laptop and get to work.
Discipline and motivation. So how different is your average day now compared to before you joined the real world?
So before I joined the real world, I didn't really do much. I was on TikTok a lot, basically just like wasting my day away. Now I'm like actually doing work, and like I love it. I do work all the time and it's great. I wouldn't trade it for anything else. I would never go back to like social media and just kind of sitting there and just doing nothing and just like wasting my day away.
Right. Feels like you have a purpose now, right? Or would you
Yeah,
have even more to add there?
definitely. Yeah.
Purpose, right? And it's fulfilling to actually do something productive that you know is
Yeah.
leading you to a positive direction in your life instead of letting your brain rot on
Yeah.
social media.
And it has like real world applications. Like I can use anything that I learn here, I can use it like in the real world.
In the actual real world.
Yeah. No pun intended, but like
Right,
in
right.
real life application.
Yep. Okay. So since you're on this trajectory, where do you see your life heading in, let's say, 6 months to 1 year, or a different time frame if you want?
6 months. I'm looking to scale the business. I don't really know where it's going because it's grown so exponentially that I really can't predict. By the end of the month, I'm looking to do scale it to where it's projected 1 million in revenue, because right now I'm at 500,000 or 500,000 in revenue projected towards the end of the year. So I'm looking to scale it to about 1 million in revenue projected by the end of the month.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll look forward to doing a follow up with you at some point to see how on target those
Yeah.
projections are. So, what would you say have been the three biggest lessons you've learned from your time within the real world?
Well, I already kind of touched on one, which is definitely discipline over motivation. That's definitely one.
Hmm.
And then I kind of already touched on the other one, but it's a lot easier to make money online than people think. And like I tell people this, like I'll tell my parents, and they're like, but what if it goes down? Or like, what if it doesn't work out? But I mean, in business, you kind of have to look at like the best scenario and the worst scenario. In the worst scenario, it goes down, but I still have so much knowledge from just doing what I do that I'll know I'll be fine in the end, no matter what. Best scenario, it goes up, and I never have to work again.
Right.
So, I mean, I guess I would say don't listen to like what other people think. Like, you best. You know that this is going to work. You just got to put in the work and like actually make it work.
Hmm. Fair point. So, what you say about skill set? Yeah, I mean, you have the skill set now, so even if the product for some reason doesn't work out, you could just try a new product and
Exactly.
you'll
Yeah.
find something that does work. So, I'm interested. Would you say it's a recession-proof income, e-commerce?
I'd say yeah, specifically for my product, because it's just something that people like need.
Hmm.
So I would definitely say that's recession proof.
Cool. So, what you have now, the skill set, is even safer than working a 9 to 5 job, because in a 9 to 5, you're more likely to get fired, laid off. Whereas in this, you're saying if it hits a recession, I mean, people still need your product.
Definitely,
So
yeah.
you
And I
still
mean,
have
you don't
money.
lose skills either. So like no matter what happens, I'm always gonna know like what to do no matter what.
Good. So at 19, you're doing very well for yourself, Ryan. It's great to hear.
Thank you.
How would you say, how much of an impact would you say Tate has had on you personally, if any?
I'd say he definitely has a huge impact. Like what I said before, how I was kind of just lazy and like going through life. Once I like listened to his things and like listened to like the message he was kind of like projecting on the world, I realized that there was like a lot more that I could like do with my life. And that's partly what caused me to join the real world, was that it's just such like an optimistic view. And like once you like actually get in, you realize that like, oh, this is like actually the way the world works. It's not as hard as many people think it is.
I'm wondering, what do your parents think about what you're doing? Do they know the full extent?
Yeah. So, I mean, my dad fully supports it because he used to own a construction company. He used to run his own business. My mom, not so much. She kind of wants me to go to college, get through it, and then get like a stable job, I guess. But my dad fully supports it. He's helped me a lot through this. He's helped me set up my LLC, bank accounts, everything else. So
Oh, wow.
that's been really helpful.
Hmm. Good. Great to hear. And yeah, I mean, mom wants the best for you, so it makes sense why she thinks
Yeah.
stable job will be good. But I mean, you'll show her through your work
Yeah.
that it is possible what you're doing, the longevity of it.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so that's most of my questions for you, Ryan. I'll end off with, for people who may be thinking the real world is a scam, like you used to think, what advice would you have to them if they're considering joining?
I mean, just try it out. It's $50 a month. That's like nothing. Like I said earlier, you got to think of best and worst case scenario. Worst case, you lose $50. That's like nothing. You can just try it out for a month. Best case, you make a ton of money and you're financially free for the rest of your life.
All right. Okay. So, Ryan, thank you for the insights and thank you for your time. For people who want to find out more about you or contact you, where can they do so?
So the e-commerce website that I have is suvolabs.com, SUVO labs.com. There's a bunch of contact information on there where you can contact me, where you can get in touch with me.
Great. I'll add that to the description of the video. And Ryan, as I said before, I look forward to doing that follow-up in 3 or 4 months to see how everything's going for you. And until then, I wish you all the best.
Thank you.